Hello everybody. Another little video from the workbench. In one of my latest videos I showed off a Fender Squier combi guitar, bastard guitar if you will, with the mods on, different mods and pickups on that one. Fantastic playing guitar and sounding also. For those of you who have followed my channel for a long time, maybe you've seen many of these guitars in different kinds of videos. This is just another look. I took this wonderful Japan production G&L ASAT Classic, ASAT I guess, Japan version. The wood is just a million times better than all the new Korean or whatever they are today. And the finish on this guitar is absolutely stunning. It is probably the most beautiful natural finish I've ever seen. I bought this guitar brand new in 2004, so yeah, it is 20 years old. At one point I had this, I sold this to a guitar friend 15 years ago or more, or 10-15 years ago, for about a year, and I was lucky to get it back because I had regretted it a lot. So it's been with me for kind of maybe 19 years out of the 20. This is also heavily modded, the electronics, but the quality of this guitar and the wood and the sound of the wood is probably the best sounding guitar I've ever had. I think it's the best sounding guitar in my whole collection. There was many of the others that I like a lot. I just put in this. I had a similar looking pickup in here for many years before, but after trying these Tonerider pickups out on some of the other guitars, I just really thought that the Tonerider pickups sounded quite a lot better than the ones I have had in here. And so yeah, this guitar has seen many different neck pickups in its time, especially all the Seymour Duncan ones and the 59 and all that. Now this Alnico 2 Tonerider pickup is in here, and I think this is gonna stay in there for the rest of my life. I really think so, because I really love it. It's very articulate in the attack, and it's very warm as well, very balanced sounding for all the jazz stuff. And this just acoustically, this is a very balanced sounding guitar, nice, amazing sustain, and it's a really good guitar, really good guitar. I have no idea what these cost on the used market now. It has to be the Japanese made ones, and this is in a very good condition. It's only a very few scratches, a few places, not much. Yeah, so I have the Tonerider Alnico humbucker. Then I have, well, in the bridge I have what I always have, which is the DiMarzio Chopper T. But right now in this guitar, this is actually wired in parallel instead of series. Gives it a more single coil type tone, which I love both. So I think maybe at some point I'm not sure if maybe I'll install a switch or something, push-pull thing to switch this between parallel and humbucking, parallel and serial wiring. But so right now this is in parallel mode, which means it's more single coil-ish, and it is a very nice sounding tone in parallel. The same with this one, which is also this is actually some kind of cheaper brand pickup. I forget what the name is, but yeah, not an expensive pickup. Just it's a rail pickup, just but not too much. I think maybe 9 kilo ohms or something. Yeah, it's definitely not over 10 kilo ohms. Many of these cheap rail pickups, if you see them on eBay and stuff, they'll be made to be a copy of the hot rails, which is about 16 kilo ohms, which is so dark it's almost unusable unless you play high gain tones, distortion only. If you like clean tones like me, those are way too hot output. So this is kind of a low medium output, kind of like this one too. And they can sound great without being a big brand name. So I have quite a few of those different stuff lying around in boxes here. But this one, I was really impressed with the sound of it. So I've just matched these up with a 5-way switch. Yeah, and in this one I have EMG electronics as well, which means there is a battery under here, but it lasts a lifetime if you just unplug it. And the quality of the electronics is just insanely good. These EMG pots and switches and jacks are just such high quality. And which means also that there is a little buffer in here, and actually there's a preamp. I think it's a mid boost I have here. I never use it with this, but it's in this mid boost circuit that the buffer is present. So I just use it at nothing, and then I have a great buffer. So the sound is absolutely equal sounding over the frequency spectrum at any volume here, which is so nice to work with. Yeah. So let's just, and I just put on fresh strings and adjust it a little bit. So here's the neck pickup. Maybe just a hair too much treble on the amp here. So of course this Telecaster with the same pickup sounds very, very similar to one of my latest videos with with the Fender one. But this this actually does sound better. I think it's simply because the finish on the wood, both on the neck and the body, is much lighter, and it's not especially the neck. The neck is responsible for, like, I guess 70-80% of the sound of the guitar, really. But this is just such a high quality guitar. The woods on here and intonation and everything is perfect. The frets are perfect. The only downside for me with this guitar is that I like maybe a little smaller width of the fretboard. But it's absolutely no problem to play this guitar, but I like a little more vintage, narrow fretboard. But it's not a big deal at all. It's just, if I were to improve this, that would be it, and that's not gonna happen with this guitar. But I really love this guitar anyway. I don't know if you can hear this just on a phone recording, but what makes this both the guitar and the pickup so good here is that, well, beautiful long sustain. And the other thing I really like is together with that sustain, it has the warmth. It's so balanced in the frequency, all the way from the bottom end to the warm top. And then the last thing is I don't know if you can hear it, but it's very articulate in the attack in the top end, not being like crazy bright or anything, but it's just very responsive to every little nuance in the attack, like this. Yeah, it's really a wonderful playing guitar. Which also it means that it has a little bit of a snap if you want it to. is the pickup, the quality of the pickup, or the sound quality to my ear. The sustain and the evenness of frequency response, the sound of that has a lot to do with the guitar. So this pickup, I think, is a perfect blend of hearing the pickup and hearing the wood of the guitar. And of course, the most important thing regarding this is the actual height of the pickup. Most guitar players always have the pickups set way too high, to my taste in general. And all you hear is the sound of the pickup, and like just sounds like when you close mic something too much, it gets way in your face, and the top end sounds harsh and quite annoying, and it gets boomier and all that stuff. So just half a turn of these screws does actually make quite a difference if you listen to the details. So I've set this, as I always do, play a little bit and just find the sweet spot. And I always set my pickups like flush with the pick guard. That's always my preferred. Some people angle it one or the other way, which is okay, but I always find it sounds best just plain. And another thing, when people talk about matching pickups, many people are very focused on matching the volume level of the pickups, so that matches, which is understandable. But to me, it's much more important to get the best sound out of each pickup. And if you just crank up the height of a certain pickup, it will sound a lot worse. So that's not really a solution for me. I don't really like that. So I'd much rather get used to a bit of volume difference and control that and have the best sound out of the guitar. And right now there is quite a big volume difference from the neck to the other ones, because the other ones are wired in parallel. But I can show you that, of course. It has this, even with this solid state amp, not with a decent amount of treble brightness, it still sounds, the attack never gets ice picky, and that's really because the wood of this guitar is really good sounding. When you snap the string and you really, the woods on this guitar control the frequency very nicely, which on cheaper guitars often they get very pokey and donkey and shrill or nasal or something, especially if you dig into it. And that, my friends, is the wood of the guitar. That's why the quality of the wood matters a lot. 20 years ago, as some of you may know, I've been working at a guitar shop for many years on and off. Sadly, it doesn't exist anymore. It shut down 1.5 years ago. But when I was back in my 20s, I thought it must be all about the pickups and the electronics, and I swapped out a million types of pickups on mainly some of my Stratocasters and stuff. and also humbuckers on Telecasters and stuff. And every time I was struggling to get the sound I wanted, because I was trying back then. I have a lot more good quality guitars now than I had 20 years ago. I was always trying to, I like the mission of trying to get cheaper guitars to sound great. I like that with all things, trying to make good quality out of anything is a very good thing to do, I think. But it really makes a difference if you have the wood actually makes more of a difference than the pickups. That's just how it is, and it's so strange to me when you see all kinds of stunts on YouTube trying to explain to you that the pickups are all that matters, because that's not true. And anybody with real life experience and good years and experience with working with guitars, it's just a fact that of course the wood makes a difference, because the sound of the wood comes before the pickup. So the wood will enhance or dampen certain frequencies, and that goes into that reflects on the strings, on the vibrations of the strings, which then affects the magnetic induction and all that through the pickup. So of course it's all a system that works together, and it's just nonsense to say it's all about the pickup alone. Yeah, so that's my thoughts on that. This is the neck pickup. The middle pickup. It really sounds great, this pickup. I really enjoyed this. It has such a balanced sound as well, especially when it's wired in parallel, like these two are now. When they're wired in series, they are just a tad too hot for my taste. But if you're going to wire it in parallel, I would suggest to get a little bit hotter pickups. Work well in series, parallel, and when you wire them in series, you need to get them less hot in output. I hope that made sense. So these are very low to medium balanced output pickup, and it sounds really good. Even though this is in a little bit of a bland sounding middle position, this is maybe one of the most useful sounds I've ever gotten out of a middle position. That sounds crazy good to my ears. And this has also, if you want this quality sound out of these pickups, you need a good sounding guitar, not too much lacquer, good quality wood. Yes. And by the way, I believe this is ash, an ash body and maple neck. yeah, through a completely clean solid state amp with nothing on there except a bit of spring reverb. It's almost like it's compressed just a little bit in all the right places, and that goes for everything, and that's the wood doing that. And as I tried to explain in the previous video with the Fender Telecaster, I really love rail pickups. They have, and this is no exception, this is probably one of the best sounding ones. It's, yeah, there you go. And I think this is, I can't really remember, maybe it's just something Arctic or something strange from eBay or whatever. But I honestly don't remember right now. And it has that flam kind of snap in the mid-range on the attack. It's very present, but it has that very forgiving and funky attack, which just to me sounds absolutely amazing. Clunk, clunk. It's almost like it has works really well with both with the voicings and the single lines. I think that kind of low voicing like this, that will only sound good if the wood sounds good and the pickup sounds good. Bridge pickup. This is even brighter, and of course it's in the bridge here, but I think this is around 7 or 8 kilo ohms, and then in parallel, which makes it almost an underwound pickup for parallel wiring. This is almost like 10 kilo ohms, which is maybe more suitable for parallel wiring. But there is something about the snappiness here. It still doesn't get pokey or ice picky, which I think a lot of single coil Telecaster bridge pickups do. So if you put just oh, that's my wristband. If you put just a hair of gain on that, not crunchy gain, but just or compression or something to lift it a little bit through a hard-working amp or whatever you like. That is just awesome sounding. And it's a rail pickup, and it has exactly those qualities again with the clunk, 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 that attack. Yeah, I really like it, even though volume wise it's quite a bit lower than the neck pickup right now, so I'll just have to adjust that on the fly with the volume knob or something playing. But right now it's set, so I think it sounds the best. The top end is very pleasing. Even with low and high volume attacks, the dynamic, even if I snap the string, it doesn't sound pokey in the treble area. And that is what makes it sound good. If I were to just crank it up closer to the strings, I would lose that balance and that airy thing on the attack, and it would get it would just be like the strings are in the speaker. It loses that dynamic or that air around the notes, which makes it sound nice, and it will be much more pokey, and the treble, the attack in the treble will be a lot more not pleasing. But right now it's perfect. This, yeah. In some ways it just screams for some kind of warm lead drive tone. It's just... So let's just compare them back to back. So here we are. In the middle. Yeah, so they're just really, this is, I must say, just playing it right now again, this confirms this is definitely my favorite combination of pickups I've ever had. So yes, this is the favorite. Tonerider ASAT Classic 2 or 3, both of them are great. This cheaper one, not more than 10k rail pickup here in decent quality, and then the Chopper T, and these are wired in parallel. It's really, and then this very nice EMG buffer. It can play jazz and blues and pop and rock and everything. And then lastly, there is the middle positions, in between positions. And as far as I recall, it sounds pretty decent between these two, and between these two, as it always is, I think, it gets too muffled sounding. It loses too much of the mid-range and sounds just bassy and muffled. So that's not really a usable tone, I think. But I seem to recall that the second position sounds pretty good. But here's the bridge. And the second. It sounds good, definitely usable, but it loses a bit of the nuance in the mid-range and all that. Much more dynamics when choosing just one pickup. Fourth position, it's exactly what I thought it would be. It loses all the wonderfulness in the mid-range and just like boomy. But I love especially the second position on Stratocasters, because they are so bright, and so that seems to work like really, really well. But when you have more balanced sounding humbuckers, in this case, the in between, even though of course I've set it up so they are in phase, of course, because the color codes are different on all three of these. So you need to of course be aware of that and make sure that you wire these up so they are in phase. That fourth position is just no good, but it's there if I ever feel like it. Yes, so this is just ready to play. It's just really working great right now, better than it's ever been. It's just a perfect in its perfect place right now. And also they are just with humbuckers and the EMG thing. It's dead quiet. I could crank this amp up to 100 watts and you wouldn't really hear any noise at all. It's just dead quiet, and that doesn't matter whatever stage I'm on, whatever lighting rig they have, whatever. It's just absolutely dead quiet, and that's why these humbuckers and good pickups and this EMG stuff also matters. It's and for recording, I can sit in front of a screen like this and it won't take any noise interference at all. It's quite perfect. And also the range of the potentiometer of the volume knob is perfect, the way it just rises naturally. And again it's that EMG system is just working so well. absolutely wonderful. Yeah. So I'm guessing you can probably tell that I'm quite fond of this guitar and the stuff on it. So, oh yeah, maybe, and I did actually change one more thing on this one, and that's the bridge itself. There's no need to change the one on that came on here. It was a very good quality piece of hardware, and it has the 6 saddles, which is, it's kind of always, it's been my preferred thing, because I want to be able to adjust it, intonate it as good as possible, as good as any guitar can really be. But just for fun, like 4 years ago or something, 5 or something, I just wanted to do something opposite to what I was used to, and really check out if it made a difference. So I bought this genuine Fender one, bridge, vintage style, with brass saddles, and I must admit it does sound just a tad more alive, which is fits in conjunction with what people say about, I guess, brass saddles. So even though it's only a 3-screw thing, which is kind of going against what I normally would do, these are it's not even compensated saddles. It's but they are very close intonation on this guitar. It's working pretty good, very good actually. And I guess it depends on also how well your guitar is made, and how well the nut is, if the strings lie correctly on the edge here and all that stuff. So yeah, I actually think this was a little 5 or 10% tonal upgrade on the guitar. So yeah, so a genuine Fender one on here. And look at the grain in the woods on this guitar, and the finish on here is just absolutely, it's so beautiful. It's by far the nicest looking piece of wood, and the nicest finish I've ever seen on a butterscotch guitar. I've never actually thought about how many pieces of wood this is made out of. Well, to be honest, I think it actually looks like one piece of wood when I'm looking at it, because the grains are kind of you don't really see any sawn place through. Well, yeah, maybe right here actually. Maybe it's 2-piece body. I don't know if you can tell here. I'm not sure it shows on the camera, but right here, just almost down the middle, which is yeah, I think that's right. I think this is a 2-piece body, but man, does it sound great. And these what's the real name? Goto tuners on here are really nice as well. Whoa. Just about to bang and wreck this into the wall here. And it stays in tune incredibly well. Again, the wood and these tuners. Yeah, quite a long-winded video here. Sorry about that. But that was a rundown of one of my all-time favorite guitars in the collection here. So I think maybe later today I'll try to record some playing videos in my studio setup downstairs, just playing a few of the guitars in a nice clean setting with good sound and lighting. Maybe. Yeah. See you soon.